welcome to our wax resist art lesson. This is a short tutorial. I am trying to show you on the internet that there's lots of YouTube videos how to do wax resist. You just type in wax resist and you'll see a lot of options on there. So for my class, we are studying water, ice, and fire. And I looked up one of my favorite water spots right there, Havasupai waterfalls. So I suggest you use a resource. And when we're studying tone, we've been looking at still lifes. We did an apple, a little pumpkin, a perfume bottle, a can of seltzer water, a spider, a sunflower, beautiful flower, inspired by Van Gogh. Remember we glanced at him? And today we're gonna hold our paper so it is portrait, not landscape. What you're gonna do is get your wax from a crayon. Yes, you can get a wax from a candle as well if you don't have crayons. I am going to probably lay out my background of my Havasupai waterfall scene with my rocks. And I'm gonna have them come down and I'm gonna look at a source. And if I'm your teacher, I always have you look at a resource, and here it is as we're doing still life. And now we're launching into adding water with our tone practice. And you're following along. I'm starting up here and I'm going down, and then I'm gonna go up again with my rocks. So just watch the way my hand is moving, and if you wanna join in and follow along and do the Grand Canyon, this is actually where I went for my honeymoon with my husband Tiger. So I'm doing the outside, the higher walls of the canyon here, and I'm coming down and I'm gonna stop it around here where the water is. And actually, when I went to the Grand Canyon, Havasupai waterfalls, we would climb up the rocks here. So this is where you're gonna actually use a lot of the wax from the crayon and scribble pretty hard. And this is where you're gonna continue on your practice of tone this week, going from dark to light, having some darker areas of the rock where you're gonna add a lot more wax of the crayon by doing what we did with our pen tone, adding some circularization. But here I'm gonna have you go zigzag, an element of art and principle of design. Do a little bit of more back, forth, like that, zigzag, but have them going around the shape of the rocks, because the rocks would start up here, come down, have some craggy texture in your rocks. Okay, so there's one rock. Now, before I continue with the rocks, I'm gonna get my blue, but I'm not gonna cover the water. My waterfall's coming from the rock around here. And then actually I met some Indians, some Native Americans down in there, and they taught me you could go back behind the waterfall. And there's this little cave back in there. It's really kind of scary because it's really powerful. All right, so I'm going straight down, right, from the rock. This is how to do waterfall. You go straight down with 1, 2, 3, 4, like some lines. And then when the waterfall hits your body of water below, you want to have like it pooling. All right, and then from there, you're going to go side to side. Make your body of water, since we're studying water, have different tones. You don't want to just scribble it all in blue, but you're going to go back and forth and add some movement in your water and shape your water, because this was actually a little natural hot tub over here. Then it went down again to a little waterfall and it pooled. So you're going to go back and forth and do some movement with your water. Then you're going to decide, what color am I going to do? I'm going to do white. Decide whatever color you want, because when the resist, I'm gonna add some white in my waterfall going down, in my pool, and in my motion in my waters. I'm also gonna add a little white texture in my hills, and I'm changing to gray now. What am I gonna do gray for? Birds. Remember, you can't be light. You gotta do a pretty thick layer of the wax for it to resist. All right, I'm gonna try to make this lesson really short and sweet with my gray and my different colors. I'm coming down to get a little more texture, some patterns maybe in the rock, and in the close land, which is over here would be the land, right? It was kind of sandy and rocky, so I'm gonna make it orange in color, and then I'm gonna layer on top of this orange, if you think it's too bright, with the watercolors. All right, with all that said and done, I'm going right to watercolor, trying to make this lesson short and sweet. Dunk it in the water. What color is your favorite color, sky or sunset? Remember, this is where you're going to use personal expression, use the colors you like, and what we're doing is mixing it up like soup, right, to get those colors going, just like you would mix soup or cookie dough. Then you're going to go right over, and I don't know if you could see this on the video lesson, so I'm going to try to show up close how the wax is repelling the watercolor, okay? Now, whatever colors you have in your sky, remember, it's your sky. You make it your favorite. This is your personal expression here. And anything you add of personal expression, some of my students, you guys like adding dragons flying in the sky or maybe a little fin in the water for personal expression. But whatever you're doing in the sky, don't forget you're going to reflect those colors in the water. And I don't know if you could see up close. The birds right there are the wax is repelling the watercolor, and so is some of my blue. And what we're doing is wax resist along with the control drip side to side. All right, so if I'm your teacher and this comes amazing, you can add it to your online art gallery on Artsonia, which we're gonna end class with, making sure I get those iPads ready for you guys to get on our app and get your best art from this week, where you showed tones of dark to light. I just did that in the sky as well for you. Dark to light in tones for a natural look. Which one's your best? Which one's your favorite from this week? All right, as I keep painting, you're gonna get to see this one live in class, complete, because I'll be working with you. And look at this one. All right, this one is really easy, I think, to see if I'm up close, how the wax is repelling. Ooh, look at that. See, it's bubbling or beating off. The watercolor is repelling. Ooh, so you could see it right through the patterns. So that's how we're gonna end. A lot of people like doing greeting cards with wax resist. Once you use it, I'm thinking, ooh, you're gonna maybe always do your birds with wax and use this tool to your advantage, okay? Because it's resists or repels, and don't forget about reflection. All right, over and out from this lesson. Today we were on our thematic unit of study, water, ice, and fire, where we're doing some waterfalls by going straight down and then across when it hits, and using the technique called wax resist. Okay, over and out from the lesson. La.